What I would encourage you to do is, if it's possible, to take a month off every year, or even 2 months in the summer. If you have the ability to go to like Egypt, I know a brother who's in Ann Arbor now, medical school. Every year he comes for like 2 months just to refresh his Arabic and Islamic studies. If you can't do that, you have online courses, you know, where you can interact, at least in Arabic, because if you don't use Arabic, it goes, wallahi, it's going to go away. I realize that any language, I lost English in Egypt. If you don't use a language, it disappears. Disappears. Those are some things you can do. Take weekend courses. You have, you know, a lot of things. I think Shifa in Detroit, you have IAU. Here in Detroit, you have Al-Maghrib. You have so many different opportunities. Do what you can, basically. Do what you can. Indeed, I did, and actually the way that I stopped listening to it is I became Muslim. And then also, I was a DJ for about like 9 or 10 months after I became Muslim. Remember, I was about to pledge Alpha Phi Alpha, you know, Alpha Phi, I was about to cross the burning sands, Ice Ice Baby. And then what happened was, I was DJing a party, everybody was dancing, and I went to pray Maghrib. Wallahi, prayer keeps from evil. So I went and prayed, and I came back, and I was playing one of Dr. Dre's new cuts, and I was just like, man, what am I doing here? I'm a Muslim. It just hit me. Then I just left everything. I sold all my records, alhamdulillah, all my equipment. I went and used that money to go study. So it's the issue of making a choice. Just make a choice. Make a strong move. And that's why Al-Muhasibi said, anything that you leave for the sake of Allah, you will not lose anything from it. Anything that you leave for the sake of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace with something better. And last night we talked to brothers and sisters, man. You don't want to marry someone, man, that's been listening to rap music, man. Because it's very misogynist, it's very patriarchal, it's very violent and aggressive. And those things are going to start building in the personality of a person. And so instead of acting like Khalid bin Walid, you know, he's going to act like, you know, Lil Wayne. And I don't think you want to come home with Lil Wayne's sisters. Or vice versa, instead of her acting like Khadija, she's going to act like Lil Kim. I don't think you want that, brothers. Okay. And that's why I encourage people, before you get married, you ask the person, what type of music, if you listen to music, what type of music do you listen to? So he's like, but mom, he's handsome and he looks like Shah Rukh Khan and, you know, everything's good. And then he said, yeah, I listen to, you know, the Satanic 10. You're like, I don't know about all that, homie. Yeah. That tells you a lot about a person. So you have to make an effort to try to get those things out of your system. And I initially adopted an opinion about music, which was relaxed. But as I see where, quote-unquote, Islamic entertainment is headed, you know, I'm starting to kind of change my opinion. Because what I'm seeing is that the goal now is not, you know, magnifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and keeping people with their relationship with Allah. Now it became kind of the focus on the entertainers themselves. That's very problematic. It's very problematic. Number one, you need good parenting. You have to be there for your children. Number two, you need strong friends, people around you that are going to support you. I had a friend that was addicted to pornography. I didn't know he was addicted to pornography in college. I went to his house one day, and suddenly this thing came, and all these magazines fell out, you know. And I was like, hey, oh my gosh. It's not Juma magazine, brother. It's not Brighter Horizons. What are you reading? Then he said, you know, brother, I can't stop, man. So I said, look, you know, I sat down with him. I didn't condemn him. I said, look, I understand, man. You know, we're single. We're in America. It's rough. We're not making 6 digits right now. You know, nobody's even thinking. And then we're Gorasabs. Nobody's going to marry the Gorasab anyways. You know, white Americans, it's hard enough to get married in the Muslim community. It's very frustrating. And I understand what you're going through. He's like, really? I say, yeah, I can feel you, but let's do something for the sake of Allah, brother. Let's take all these magazines and go throw them in the trash can. And the brother started going into convulsions, man. I really, seriously, man. He said, I'm addicted. I got a Jones for this. But alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, because he had good friends and good brothers who supported him, we went together. I was trying to keep my gaze up. Don't look down on that one. And then we put all the magazines in the trash, and I made him shut the trash. You know, so he's the one who was empowered to do it. And after that, he said, alhamdulillah, man, for the brothers who are around me that were able to help me out. So it's good to have good friends. If you're trying to do good and your friends are doing bad, and then shaitan will tell you, oh, you're trying to pull them up. But let me ask you a question. If you're sitting on this table and your friends are down here, is it easier to pull them up or for them to pull you down? They're going to pull you down. Doesn't mean you abandon them, but the wise man told the man in the hadith that killed 99 people, leave the hood, man. Change neighborhoods. So here, change the type of people that you're around. Some people, their best friend is the internet. Some people sit in front of the computer 9 hours a day, looking at all kinds of stuff. I know some people, they tell me, I have to go to YouTube every day. I have to go every day to YouTube and see what's going on there. I said, why do you have to go every day? So do you have to read the Quran every day? So what happens, we get an intimacy with these things, and a lot of that is destroying marriages, man, on both sides of the field. So here at Mass, we have halaqat, you know. I think you have usr here. In Mass, you have usr?
Yes, we do.
How many you have?
Teenagers, we have about a dozen of them.
MashaAllah, around a dozen halaqat every week. Those halaqat are very important, man, to strengthen yourself and give you support and friendship, people that you can trust, and then having a sheikh murabbi added, and who can teach you and help you, inshallah. You never know when you're going to die, player. That's my advice. I mean, it's like the guy who says, I'm going to make Hajj when I'm 60. And he's like 21. Come on, man. You know, Abdullah bin Umar said, if you see the morning, don't wait till the evening. Expect to die. If you see the evening, don't expect to live the morning. To have that sense of, you know, Huey P. Newton said, man, seize the hour. Don't wait around. You know, don't be negligent. That's ghafil anillah. People who think like that are very negligent. Look at the grandfather of Imam Ibn Taymiyyah. His grandfather used to go to the restroom and order his grandson to read books of Islam to him while he was in the restroom. He used to memorize in the restroom. People said to him, how could you do that? He said, I didn't take the name of Allah in the restroom, but I didn't say the name of Allah in the restroom. But I'm listening. They said, why? I said, because I don't want to waste any time. Now you got people who camp out in the restroom for like 4 hours. Text messaging, and, you know, reading the whole, you know, new Q magazine, and the whole, man, oh, that's a place of jinn, brother. So, using your time. The Prophet said, نِعْمَةً مَغْبُورٌ فِيهِمَا كَثِيرٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ السِّحْرُ وَالْفَرَاغُ. Prophet said, 2 blessings most people lost out on. One of them is time. Using your time. And that's a trick of shaitan. He comes to you and يَلَعَ بِقُلُوبِ النَّاسِ, you know. Tells people, plays with the hearts. You're going to live a long life. You got a lot. Man, you don't know that, man. I know a brother here that we were with in Detroit, Michigan, who almost died, man, of kidney failure, man. He thought he was in perfect health. So you don't know when death is going to come. And if you think that that means that somehow you believe, you share in the knowledge of the unseen with Allah. And that's crazy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. Take it easy and differentiate between culture and Islam. Stay who you were as an American. Just take out the bad qualities that you have. So I told a brother it's like this. We like Monday Night Football. I saw Favre last week. Wow. Man. I was in the airport watching that in LA. So when I was young, I used to smoke weed, drink, and watch Monday Night Football. Have a big old slab of pork ribs on the barbecue. Then I became Muslim. So now the weed is gone. The drink is gone. They're beef ribs from Safwa. But I'm still watching the football game. So I kept my culture. But as Imam Ibn Taymiyyah said something profound. He said, Islam did not come to take the culture of the Arabs, it came to polish that culture. So Islam came to polish our culture, to make us better people. Number 2 is don't use Islam as an excuse to mistreat non-Muslim relatives. I know a sister that got married without telling her parents, she became Muslim without telling her parents, and she got divorced without telling her parents. It's unacceptable, man. She's going to go back to her mother's house, flipped out. She's gone through like, I mean, I'm 37, but my mother was almost a week ago was diagnosed. They thought she had cancer in the uterus. Alhamdulillah, she didn't. But man, I need my mother. It's my mom. Even though she's not a Muslim, I call my mother every day. Because that's mama, you know what I mean? So how can you become Muslim and use Islam somehow to let you feel you can disrespect your parents or override them, or, you know, not saying doing haram, of course not, but you should be better to your parents. Number 3, learn and learn slow. Don't try to learn everything. So start out with how to pray, learn how to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, learn about the love of the Prophet, who the Prophet was, learn some basics in creed, learn some basics about the seerah, and so on and so forth.